Hey guys, Indy with Ultimate Tool Reviews here. Just want to quick take a look at the Makita cordless hedge trimmer. And this is kind of I guess the most basic model they make. This is just the regular brushed LXT version. This one's pretty commonly found at Home Depot. In my area, it's around $129 or so. Model number on this one is the XHU02, and it's a pretty nice hedge trimmer. A couple things to note about it that I really like. The overall blade length here is right about perfect for what I need. So right about here, I think that's about 2 feet or so. Let me check here. Yeah, it's about a 2 foot blade length there. It's got some kind of cool safety features as well too, so it's pretty much impossible to use with one hand. So you first have to close this, you hear that little click there. That's the first safety. You then have to push this button on either side, doesn't matter, and then you can pull the trigger. So basically requires two hands to use it. I had one kid in my class back when I was in middle school, and he actually hurt his finger pretty bad. I don't know if he cut it all the way off, but he was using a hedge trimmer. He was pulling on a branch, and with another hand, he had his finger on the trigger, and basically took, I think, like 2 or 3 of his fingers. I don't know if it took them off, but it definitely severely damaged his fingers really bad. So I'm always one for safety, like staying safe. I'm sure you're wondering how this maybe compares to the DeWalt or the Milwaukee. I did own the Milwaukee M18 fuel hedge trimmer before this one, and I ended up selling that one and buying the Makita. I will say the Milwaukee is significantly more powerful than this Makita and the DeWalt. Now, what's cool about hedge trimmers is they're pretty easy to compare. You got Makita as the cheapest, least powerful, and just the regular ones at Home Depot. DeWalt is right in the middle in price and performance, and then you've got Milwaukee is definitely on top with the most powerful, but also the most expensive hedge trimmer out there. Now, the big reason why I wasn't such a huge fan of the Milwaukee was it was super heavy to use. I don't necessarily have a ton of hedge trimming that I need to do at my house, but I've got a couple long fences with some really long vines and bushes on there, and holding that thing with two hands like this, going down that fence, was just, my arms were burning after using that. And I just said, I don't really need the crazy amount of power it has. I picked that one up on clearance for like $80. There was one Home Depot near me that had like 15 of them on a pallet, and the manager said, "Hey, $80 a piece, grab one." So I did use it for a while. It was all right. I know I have a review in the channel a couple videos earlier. I did of that one as well. But I grabbed the Makita. I just wanted to go for pretty much the lightest hedge trimmer possible because I don't really need a ton of power. Most of the vines I'm trimming they're pretty tiny, pretty easy to clean, or pretty easy to cut. As you can see in the video here, me cutting up some vine, or cutting up one small bush here on one side of my driveway. I really don't need a ton of power, but if you do need a ton of power, I would recommend the Milwaukee M18 Fuel, or even going into one of the larger Makita hedge trimmers, as they are absolutely fantastic. But if you just need a basic hedge trimmer that's going to last you quite a while on one battery, you can even use the 2 amp hour batteries on this, and I don't think I've ever even burned 1 bar on even a 2 amp hour battery using this hedge trimmer. It uses such little power here that you can pretty much just go almost forever on these batteries. It's just such a tiny little bit of power. One thing to note about maintenance on these hedge trimmers, just something I learned from kind of working at a mower company for a little bit, was make sure you keep your blades lubricated as well. Everyone's kind of got something different they like to use for lubrication with their blades. I like to use like a 3-in-1 lubricating oil. Don't really like to use the silicone too much. I don't like to grab that, but just the multi-purpose oil seems to work really well on these. And I'll pour it on the top, pour a little bit on the bottom, run the blades for a little bit, and you're good to go. Now, Makita does include a cover for the blades. It works fine. No big deal. I wish it was enclosed on one side, would be kind of nice, so I could, slide it on there and protect any water or anything getting on that one side. But not a big deal. It's one of the cheaper hedge trimmer options out there. Never had an issue with this. One thing I do notice between the Milwaukee and the Makitas, I don't know if this is actually an issue with these. But I noticed the blades on these, the Milwaukees, seem like they would rust out really, really fast, and I'm not sure why. The Makitas on these have actually been totally fine. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you the Makita blades on here. They've been staying sharp, no real issues with these blades at all. So if you're looking for a decent hedge trimmer that is pretty cheap, you don't necessarily need a super heavy-duty, ultra-powerful hedge trimmer. The Makita is a great choice, but if you're looking for, definitely want the more power, I know Makita claims it cuts up to 1-inch thick branches. The M18 Fuel is a fantastic option. Just be aware though that it's quite a bit more heavy, and I was not a huge fan of that. The power, it's fantastic, yes, but the Makita is definitely way lighter than the Milwaukee. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you think, and take care.